Hi, my name is Renee Papitas with Troy Rotary. I'm joined today by Carl Schmitz, President of the Troy Board of Education. Thanks for being here, Carl.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So tell me, as President of the Board of Education in Troy, what does that position entail?
Well, it sounds really great, but it actually just means that I run the meetings, and we change who's president from year to year occasionally. All of 7 members of the Board of Education are of equal stature, shall we say, and the decisions that we make as a board are all done in a consensus fashion. So the 7 of us were elected by the City of Troy, members of the City of Troy, to oversee the school district, which has right now about $155 million annual budget. And our job really is to make sure that the policies and procedures in the school are what the community wants. And beyond that, it's our job to continually lobby for public schools, making sure we've got adequate funding, making sure that we don't have statutes at a state level that are going to be harmful to our kids, and really making sure that we set an agenda for the entire school district that is really going to be what the parents of the district want.
And an incredible job you're doing. The Troy School District is one of the top school districts in the country.
Yeah, we gloat a lot about that. We try. You know what? It's interesting though, because if all you do is look at rankings, then you get complacent. And one of the things about what I love about our entire administration and our board is that we're continuously trying to figure out how do we push that envelope? How do we make sure that we're world class? And you know, we're just finishing up, or we're almost through with a 5-year plan, which is world class by 2020. And we have 4 pillars that we've focused on to try to make sure that we meet those objectives. The cool thing about that objective is that to be world class, it's a goal that you continually chase. You're never actually going to get there because there's always someone somewhere who's doing something better than you are. So our goal is to continually look for those absolute top runners and to do what they're doing and maybe to even exceed.
So does that, based on those objectives, so not only trying to continue to move forward with your goals, but then new things come in to your purview, do you often have to pivot what you're doing, or do you kind of bring those in and see how they work in terms of the path that you're on?
Yes. I mean, all of that. I mean,
Okay.
and you know, it's very interesting because when we started this process, one of the things our superintendent challenged people to do was to give up something so that you could do something else better. Because one of the things we found about 5 years ago as we looked across this district is that there are lots of different things going on, and you can make an argument for any one thing that a particular teacher is doing or a particular building is doing. But what we found is that in order to be really great and to be very unified, you have to agree on those things that everyone is going to do. And if you're going to do those things really well, by definition, it means you're going to have to give some things up. So as we've moved along in this goal process, we've adopted new things, we've pivoted on things, and we've given things up.
So Carl, when the Troy Board of Education learned about the Buddy Bench project, what appealed to you that led you guys to get involved with it?
We were really excited about the Buddy Bench program. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, we're in the middle of this 5-year program, and we have 4 primary pillars that focus on our objectives and goals as a district. One of those 3 pillars we call our red pillar, and that is taking care of the social and emotional health of all of our students. So one aspect of social and emotional health is connection. Research has shown that if you've got students that are connected to other students within the school community, they're going to do better academically, they're going to do better socially and emotionally. So we work as adults to make sure that we have opportunities through athletics and music and after-school clubs and, you know, whatever you can name, just about any variety of mechanisms where people can connect. So we can set that up as adults. But all of that is adult to child.
Right.
And one of the things about the Buddy Bench that on a personal level that I was really excited about is this is purely a peer-to-peer interaction, right? So you end up with this bench on the playground. If I'm an elementary school or preschool student and I'm feeling disconnected, I'm feeling lonely, I feel like my friends aren't doing what I want to do, or I can't find a friend at that point, I know that that's a little oasis I can go sit on. and I have some confidence that someone is going to come rescue me off that little
Right.
island, right?
Right.
So that's kind of cool. Now that only works if the rest of the kids realize and value that signal. So one of the other aspect of this that I really like is that, you know, in the classroom, we tell students you're part of a community. That means you take care of each other. This is kind of where the rubber meets the road, right? So students are out on the playground, they look over, they see somebody that needs some help, they come over and invite them in. Say, come on, come play with us and have fun. Now I've done two things. I've got a student who was disconnected, now feels connected, and I've reinforced this idea for students who already feel connected that it's important that they leave no one behind. They leave no one out of that. And that's a really exciting thing for me. Now, if I'm a supervisor as an adult on the playground, I can see a child who may be disconnected. It's very artificial for me to go over and say, all right, well, come here. You come, I'll grab your hand and take you over, and then I'm going to connect you to this child over here.
Well,
and
it's a forced interaction.
It's a forced interaction, right.
Right.
And you know, that doesn't work.
No.
So
and it probably embarrasses the kids.
Absolutely.
To some degree too.
And it may and you may be connecting that child to a completely wrong group, right? So this way what you have is someone who looks up and really volunteers and says, I want that person to be part of my group. And so when that person is invited, that's genuine. And that child now feels that connection. And what an exciting thing to have, you know? And the idea that reminder then stands for years. It's always there as a reinforcement and as a peer-to-peer tool. What's not to like about that?
Oh, it's fantastic. And I'm so delighted that you guys came on board. Where can people find more information about the Troy School District?
Go to our website. We bury everything on the website. You can find anything you want. You can go building by building. You can look at what's going on there. You can look at anything going on with the school board. You can look at new activities that we're doing. You just want to see fun photos of the kids of Troy in action. You can see them there. It's a massive site, but it's nice because it's kind of a central depository for a lot of the things that we do. The other place you can see is pay attention when Troy Times comes in the mailbox, because across the whole city of Troy, whether you have a student in the district or not, 4 times a year we have a 12-page insert. It sticks out actually up above the newspaper, even though it's inserted so you can see it. But we make a point to try to highlight all the things that are happening across all of the buildings of the district. And it's a really nice place to go and see what's going on. The other thing is there's always a school board column in there, and that's usually me writing it. And a lot of times I'm writing about happy things, and then sometimes like when it comes to school funding, I may be talking about areas where I need the public's help to really make sure that we deliver the quality of education that we really want to deliver to all of our great kids in the city.
And allows us to get involved as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are volunteer opportunities across the entire district.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
More information about the Troy Buddy Bench Legacy Project on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Troy Rotary, and more information about the Troy School District just by Googling it. Carl, thanks again so much, and thank you to the Troy Board of Education for supporting this project.
Thanks for the opportunity.